Let's step away from corporate earnings and turn now to the latest in the FTX fallout, because the former CEO, founder as well, Sam Bankman-Fried, is listed as a witness at tomorrow's House hearing, along with the current FTX CEO John J III, who of course is unraveling the entire collapse. And 3 U.S. senators are requesting crypto bank Silvergate Capital to release all records related to transfers of funds for the collapsed empire. So here now to put it all together for us is Wall Street correspondent Sonali Basak. Sam Bankman-Fried speaking before the House would be notable if it weren't for the fact that he's been talking to everyone, it seems. Do we know what he's going to say, or do we have a sense of what he might say tomorrow?
Well, yes, because as you say, he's speaking to everyone. Just today, he did a Twitter Spaces with the Unusual Whales podcast, which does speak to a lot of retail investors. And they tried to get a lot of answers of him, of the timeline here, which is what a lot of people want to know about. But even more so, what does he know and what doesn't he know? What was he responsible for and what wasn't he responsible for? And what I will say is that not only does he deflect a lot of the responsibility to Alameda executives, as he has been doing, he keeps on saying that he does not have access to a lot of data. So everything that he is saying is coming from memory. And he did say that he doesn't want to give answers to the lawmakers along the lines of, maybe, or yeah, I don't know. He wanted to
right, but he's giving those answers to everyone else right
exactly.
now. And last time I checked, it's not like what he says on Twitter Spaces is going to stay there. I mean, anyone suing this guy, and there are a lot of people lined up to do that, are parsing these statements.
They sure are, and to your point on Twitter Spaces,
ignorance isn't a defense, we should point out. I mean, he's claiming that he didn't know this, he didn't know that. That's not a defense.
And even the host here of retail investors wanted to know just that. What did he know and what didn't he know, and shouldn't he have known? Over and over he said he should have known, he should have known, he should have known. But to your point here, the point that he was making is he doesn't want to go in front of Congress, who feels soft obligated to spend time talking to him and give them answers that are incomplete. But to your point here,
I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to go before. I mean, it's usually just a dog and pony show. But I mean, I don't know. Come on,
it's going to be really awkward though, because didn't so many people in Washington accept money from him? Yes. So how is this exchange going to play off? I mean, what's the mood in Washington like about cryptocurrencies, about SBF?
There's a number of people here who have pledged to either donate some of those political givings to charity or elsewhere. But the weirdness of it all, as we've reported today for Bloomberg News here, is that some of those donations can be subject to clawback potentially in bankruptcy, depending on when.
Romaine doesn't look convinced.
I'm sorry. I want to go back though. So let's say he doesn't show up for some reason or another. Now we know John Ray has already confirmed that he's going to be there, and he's been pretty vocal about what he's found so far. Wouldn't he want to be there to maybe rebut some of that? Because I assume they're just going to be dragging his name through the mud one way or the other.
Well, the testimony from John Ray is already up, and some of the things that he already puts in here about FTX is some of the things that they know are some unacceptable practices, including the commingling of assets.
Yes.
That is page 1 here, really, in the testimony here, as well as lack of documentation, Alameda taking funds for its own trading, storing of certain private keys without effective security or control. So to your point, will he want to answer to any of that?
But documentation is a big deal. I mean, any finance company knows, I mean, keeping track of what you're doing is required. I mean, it's not an option.
Unless you don't write things down, unless you've got the blockchain.
Can I tell you something? And that is correct. Yes, and this is where it gets complicated with his trying to recuse himself from the more recent things that happened at Alameda. And another interesting thing that happened today, he was asked about the timelines of the deleted tweets between November 7th and November 8th.
Yeah.
Do you remember he said customer assets are backed 1-to-1? His answer was yes, but whether he invested client assets or not, with the deleted tweet, yes, but, and he kind of blamed it all on the margin accounts over there at FTX.
Okay.
Yes,
Are you going down to cover this thing?
I sure am.
You're going down to D.C. to cover this thing.
But he won't be there in person, he said. He said that he's coming in virtually to the hearing tomorrow, and as you know, we don't know whether he'll make it to the Senate event on Wednesday.
Is anyone else going to be there of importance beyond John Ray?
Oh, the lawmakers. I mean, we'll try to doorstop a lot of them, too, and ask
you need a close-up on that expression there. What time does the hearing begin?
10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Okay, so Sonali Basak will be all over the hearing.
It's going to be a circus down there.
Yeah, let me know what you want to know, guys. guys.
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Reader questions, listener questions.
Have you booked your ticket for the Bahamas yet?
I have not booked my ticket for the Bahamas yet, but I guess that's the next trip. All of the other crypto crowd is down there already. I don't know what else I'm going to find.
I've signed off on it. Just tell your manager. It's okay.
Sonali Basak will be doing some forensic accounting from the Bahamas at some point. Sonali, thank you so much. Our Wall Street correspondent, who, of course, will be in Washington tomorrow to cover the House Financial Services
But not
hearing.
the Bahamas.